Hi everybody, we're back to the truck edition for a very brief dream update. Thanks for checking me out. Thanks for tuning in as always. I'm always, lately I'm always on the run from the police. No, just kidding. Ha ha ha. Well, unless I'm speeding. No, I'm not. Okay, great. So, yeah, last night I had this very brief little dream that was really interesting because I've never experienced one like this before. Well, let me qualify that. As you know, I have many cosmic dreams where I'm literally in outer space and something's going on. In this dream, I was in space. I wasn't looking through a telescope or anything into deeper space, but it's kind of like I was because I was looking at a like, you know, like when the telescopes take those shots that are really far away and you see a ton of stars all at the same time and you see a lot of stuff in the same picture. That was my point of view. It was like I was really far away from the event that was the topic of the dream. And what I was witnessing was a spacecraft, presumably an alien spacecraft, traveling through space, and it approached what I interpreted to be a wormhole or a portal, which is so weird because I don't give a lot of thought to portals and wormholes. Sterling Psychic Medium talks about them all the time and claims that portals are actually links. Well, he claims two different things, unless they're the same thing. He says that portals are links between different dimensions, like you can travel from one dimension to another dimension, or basically almost like one universe to another universe. Or you can use wormholes to travel across vast distances in our own galaxy. And there's a whole science fiction show that's dedicated to that from years ago. Star Trek had a lot of different iterations 20, 30 years ago, and one of the shows was called Star Trek Deep Space Nine. And in that show, there was a wormhole that connected the Star Trek Deep Space Nine space station, to another quadrant of the galaxy. And basically, the characters would fly ships into the wormhole and travel through the wormhole to as a shortcut to the other side of the quadrant of the galaxy. Okay, so that was the premise. So it's funny how these ideas, if they're really true in the universe that we live in, end up in science fiction. Like they get sprinkled into the minds of writers, and science fiction writers for decades, hundreds of years, really have seemed to preview so many things that have come true. And it's like they intuit it from what they understand, maybe through guides and stuff about the deeper universe. So, and in Star Trek Deep Space Nine, the real wrinkle of the show is that there is a planet near this wormhole called Bajor. So the people who live on it are the Bajorans, and they believe in gods who live inside this wormhole. They actually live inside the tunnel. And what's interesting is that it turns out that they're actually aliens. The aliens who live inside the tunnel watch over the Bajoran people, which is, again, like such an interesting concept, because to the Bajorans, who are kind of like humans but with, funny noses, because they always do that in Star Trek with the head makeup, they have like ridged noses. So for the Bajorans in Star Trek Deep Space Nine, they worship the wormhole aliens like gods, but the wormhole aliens actually do like help to protect the Bajorans, and they work with a human male Captain Benjamin Cisco, was played by Avery Brooks. So he was the first black captain on Star Trek, and I really liked him in that role. I thought he was super cool in that role. And I liked the show too. It was kind of like a little bit darker Star Trek. Star Trek never goes too dark, but dark for Star Trek. And yeah, they claim that he is the emissary. The aliens claim that he is an emissary sent to the station to help liberate the Bajoran people from an enemy race of aliens called the Cardassians, who, funny enough, kind of look like reptilians, which, again, Sterling talks about reptilian aliens existing. So, we're really down the rabbit hole, or the wormhole, bada boom. So, anyway, let me wrap this up. That's a lot of setup, as usual, a lot of tangents. but doesn't it make it fun? So in my dream, I'm gazing far off in the distance. I see an alien spaceship. It's very small. I can't make out any details about the ship at all. And it is approaching a wormhole, which I observe as like a phenomena in the sky. It looks from a distance, kind of like, it looks kind of like the wormhole in Star Trek Deep Space Nine, if you've ever seen it, but like almost like a portal that opens and closes, like a black hole, but illuminated, so that you can actually see the entrance to it. And what happens is the ship approaches the wormhole, and then all of a sudden, bing, it disappears, and it reappears, like farther off in the distance. Like basically, in my dream, this alien spacecraft took a portal and traveled through the portal instantly to a different area of the galaxy. So it was like witnessing a phenomenon that is claimed to be real. So that was kind of crazy because, like I said, I've not really thought about portals much, but lots of people claim that they're real. And I will tell you, I'll tease my next video, and I have to figure out how to do it. I have a friend who I will not name who is very psychic too, and she experienced what she claimed was a portal in one of our state parks here in New York several years ago. And she said that there were lots of portals in this state park. And at the time, this is maybe 5 years ago when she told me this, and I had no, I knew nothing about this concept really, other than that, that it was in science fiction. And she showed me the craziest picture I've ever seen, possibly in my life. And I wonder if I've mentioned this before, like years ago in a video. She showed me a picture of her and her daughter standing like on a railing overlooking the ridge. But the craziest part is my friend's head was like in a portal, by which I mean her head was basically not there. Like her body was there, and then you see like this like warping of the top of her body as she's leaning against her daughter, and then her head, like where her head would be resting on her daughter's head, is missing. Like her head, she said my head was in the portal, and I'm like, oh my god, that's crazy. And I think what I will do is, I don't want to violate her privacy, because she shared this with me, and I will leave her anonymous, but what I will do is I will make a copy of, because I have a copy of the photo. I have a copy of the photo. I will make a copy of it, and I will cover up like the face of her daughter, and maybe disguise some of the details so that I can show you this anonymously. But this was an undoctored photo of her head in the wormhole, and it was so weird. It was like basically the space around her warped, and her head just wasn't there. So strange. So again, maybe my dream is meant to signal that wormholes are pretty real. I've never experienced one personally, but I don't see why they couldn't be real. And while we're on the subject of wormholes and portals, Twin Peaks, the last season of Twin Peaks in particular, the third season, but even in the first two seasons, the third season is like all about cosmic entities, portals, divine beings, assisting and both assisting and plaguing humanity with their interventions into our affairs. It's a very strange show. It is very non-linear if you watch it, but I thought it was amazing. And I have said before many times that I believe that David Lynch, who's the director of Twin Peaks, the co-creator with Mark Frost, I feel like because he is a proponent of transcendental meditation, I feel certain, though he won't talk about it, that he understands all the weirdo cosmic juju that we talk about, that the psychics talk about, that everybody knows about in that community, but that the general public doesn't know about it. And he basically fictionalized it and put it into a TV show. But truth is stranger than fiction. So that's today's report of the Wormhole Dream. And the spaceship goes into it, and then blink, it's like way past where it was. It definitely traveled through the wormhole to another location in the dream. So, all right, I'll be back soon, I hope, and take care. Thanks for tuning in. See you soon.